I'm going to start off talking about Genesis 31 by going to the Beatitudes in Matthew 5, where Jesus is giving his Sermon on the Mount, and he's saying, "Blessed are those who mourn, blessed are those who are persecuted, blessed are the peacemakers." Um, I really want to focus on that because um, Genesis 31, this conflict could have escalated. This could have been pretty ugly. I mean, Jacob and Laban were essentially going to war over the inheritance that Jacob was due, or not the inheritance, the wages that he was due, that he felt he was due from Laban. And every single time Laban would change his wages and tell him, the speckled goats are yours, or no, the spotted ones are yours, more would be born. Like every single time Laban would say, he would say, the speckled goats are yours, then more speckled goats would be born. And Jacob's, Jacob was favored. He was favored by God. He had the favor of God upon him. God was sending him away. This was part of God's plan. This is according to his will. So because it's according to God's will, we're going to see some things happen. We're going to see miracles happen. We're going to see the favor of the Lord come upon someone so strongly. And that's really what was happening here. And, I'm sure it was frustrating to Laban, like, man, he's taking everything that I own. He's taking everything away. He's taking my daughters. He's taking my sheep. And he's leaving me. And, I mean, Laban's no saint, though, because, he made him, if you remember, he deceived him early on. But, now he's trying to change his wages and kind of backtrack on what he had offered to give him. So Jacob sees this and he says, I have to get out of here. This is getting nuts. So he flees. He flees with his wives, his kids, and they're leaving, and they're going into the land that God had called them to go into. And eventually Laban pursues them. He pursues them. He's in hot pursuit, and he catches up to them. This could have escalated to a conflict where they would end up waging war with one another, and that could have been really ugly. But especially given the fact that there was some grand theft idol going on here, where Rachel was, she had stolen the idols. I'm going to put that in my pocket for later. But in this particular case, I see what is a peaceful resolution. Blessed are the peacemakers. God had to intervene. He showed up in a dream. He showed up in a dream to Laban and said, hey, watch it. For better or worse, that's what God said. He said, watch it. Don't do anything good or bad to him. Just, he's not worthy of anything good based on, his own, just let him go. Just like he did. He didn't do anything right by it, but certainly, don't reward him for what he did, but also don't do anything bad to him. Just let him go. And that's essentially what ends up happening. And they end up having a peaceful resolution where they draw a line and say, I'm not going to pass this rock, and you're not going to pass this rock to pursue me. We're just going to go our separate ways here peacefully. You have a chance now to kiss your daughters and your sons goodbye. We can be at peace with it. Blessed are the peacemakers. So always be looking for Jesus in the Old Testament. And that's what I was looking for really when I was thinking about this, is where can I see Jesus? Jesus is a peacemaker. Jesus brings, Jesus is, as much as he said, now I'm thinking, of course, of something else he said that's not so peaceful. He said, I come to bring a sword between you and your family. But that's essentially what he did. There was a sword that came between these two, Laban and Jacob, but still it had a peaceful outcome. And that's what God is about. He's a God of peace. He doesn't want there to be escalating conflict, so he intervened. And I just think that we need to do our best as followers of Jesus to be peacemakers. We need to think about where we need to make peace in our lives, where we need to make peace with other people, how to resolve conflict peacefully. And that's what this makes me think about here, is how to resolve conflict peacefully without without it escalating to violence or anything else like that. And I'm just really glad that the Lord gives us this opportunity to take a look back and see that He was there. He was there, and He helped to, broker this peace between Laban and Jacob, at least for now. I haven't read further ahead. I don't know what else happens. I can't remember, actually, so we'll find out soon enough. You guys be blessed.